A sister challenges all black people for the 2024 elections. Hello and welcome to my channel. A video of a black sister goes viral after she challenges all black people from just voting democratic without even knowing what is really going on. She screams change for the 2024 elections, and this is what she had to say in her video.
I'm going to challenge all black people for this 2024 election to stop going to your polling place and just voting Democrat without even knowing what's going on, just because you've been told to always vote for the Democratic Party. What has the Democratic Party done for us as black people in the past, I don't fucking know, 50 years? Even the first black president, he didn't do shit for the advancement of black people in this country whatsoever. Barack Obama did more for the LGBTQ community, more for the gay community, signing laws protecting them and their advancement and their rights than he did for black people the entire 8 years he was in office. So why are we still sitting up here voting Democrat when they don't do shit for us? When we have old white men telling us, you ain't black if you don't vote for me, but then he goes into office and does absolutely nothing for black Americans, but we sit up here and we vote Democrat every single time because we've been told to. Hasn't helped you, hasn't helped your mama, and it's not gonna help your kids.
Now, democracy is a system of government in which state power is vested in the people or the general population of a state. With that being said, I feel a sister has some valid points there, but let's get to the stitches and see if people think the same as well. Stay glued as we get into the stitches, because once we are there, trust me, you're not going to move an inch. So let's see the stitches and let's talk afterwards.
Just voting Democrat.
So here's my response to that video. First of all, I'll say that I agree with one of her points, and that's the point about not voting for somebody simply because they belong to a political party. We need to vote for candidates based on their track record when it comes to issues of importance to the black community. We need to vote for candidates based on their positions on issues that are of importance to the black community. So on that point, I agree. The second point that she makes is that she says that President Obama did nothing for black people. And that's just a false statement. It's an uninformed statement. It's completely non-factual. The fact of the matter is the Obama administration fought to protect voting rights in the case of Shelby County versus Holder. The Obama administration fought to protect affirmative action. The Obama administration implemented criminal justice reforms within the Justice Department in terms of how the Justice Department would implement certain laws and prosecute certain cases, and sentencing with respect to those cases. The Obama administration was instrumental in getting the Fair Sentencing Act passed, an act that helped reduce the disparity between powder cocaine and crack cocaine, the sentencing disparity, a disparity that has been linked to the problem of mass incarceration. It was the Obama administration that helped to get consent decrees enforced against various police departments. And these consent decrees were instrumental in addressing discriminatory policing practices in cities like Baltimore, Maryland, and Ferguson. So it is just false to say that the Obama administration did nothing for black people. In addition to that, the Obama administration had the Brothers Keeper program. The Obama's administration also passed an executive order on excellence in black education. So let's stop telling fairy tales and let's actually deal with the facts. The Obama administration did many things that were beneficial to black people. And aside from those things that were directly addressing the black community, the Obama administration did other things as well, in terms of Obamacare, which benefited many black people who are disproportionately uninsured when it comes to health insurance. Now, while this woman was talking about how the Democrats did nothing for black people, she conveniently had nothing to say about the Republicans. And that's part of the reason why I view those types of videos with suspicion. A lot of these videos are either done by people that want black people not to participate in the elections, or they want they want black people to be apathetic, or they actually want black people to go as far as to vote for Republicans. And here's what I have to say about the Republican Party. Like, when you see these kind of videos, it basically implies that the Republicans and Democrats are on equal footing, and they both, are parties that we should choose from and stuff like that. And they're all, it's up to us, and they're just as bad, or they're the same, one and the same. And here's what I have to say about that. It's the Republican Party that's attacking voting rights. I talked about how the Obama administration defended voting rights. Well, it's the Republicans today that are fighting against voting rights. It was Republican appointed justices on the Supreme Court that voted to gut the Voting Rights Act. So let's be clear about that. It's Republicans in Congress that are preventing the passage of the John Lewis Voting Rights Act. It's Republicans in Congress preventing the passage of the Freedom to Vote Act. They are the ones obstructing our voting rights. It's the Republicans, for instance, in Alabama, who drew up the redistricting lines to strip away the political power of the black community. Even though there was a court order requiring them to draw a map that had 2 black voting districts, they decided that they weren't going to do that. It's the Republicans down there that are trying to strip away black political power. And ever since, the Voting Rights Act was gutted, it's been the Republicans that have been passing these voter suppression measures all around the country to make it more difficult for black people and other people to vote. It's the Republican Party that's attacking affirmative action. It's the conservative justices that voted to basically end affirmative action in this country. It's your Republicans who are standing in the way of the passage of reasonable policing reforms that are embodied in the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. They are obstructing that. It's your Republican parties that have declared a quote-unquote war on what they call critical race theory. Basically, these Republicans in Florida and other places are trying to rewrite history. They're trying to remix history and blot out black history. They have gone as so far as to require that a curriculum in school include teachings on how black people benefited from slavery. And then all we have to do is talk about Donald Trump and his racism. And he is the front runner in the Republican Party, despite being indicted 4 times. He is the front runner. This is a man who called those white supremacists that had that riot in Charlottesville. He referred to them as some very fine people. Some racist white supremacists. One of those racists killed a woman that was protesting. That's your Republican Party. And I could go on and on about Donald Trump, but I won't for the sake of this video. But those are just a few of my thoughts. So we can't pretend like these Republicans and Democrats are one and the same. They're not. There are stark differences between the parties, but I do agree that you shouldn't vote for somebody simply because of their party. You have to look at their track record. But those are my thoughts. And I'm just saying, be leery of videos that basically discourage black people from voting, that are designed to make you think, well, there's no point in voting, or make you think, well, these Republicans are a viable option to vote for, when I've laid out where they stand on a lot of issues. Now, there may be some exceptions, some Republicans that are exceptions to the rules And then again, that goes back to my point earlier about looking at where they stand on the issues.
Election and stop going to your polling place and just.
I got a better idea. How about we don't vote? Because it doesn't matter whether you vote Democrat or Republicans. Okay? And this is just nonsensical, point of views. Now, don't get me wrong. I actually agree with the fact that we don't need to be just voting for one party without knowing facts. And here's the facts about Democratic parties. The Democrat Party never give a shit about America. Okay? And here's the thing. The Democrats serve the same interests the Republicans serve. And that's corporate interests. Okay? So why y'all sitting up there being dumb as fuck, sitting there voting, not knowing that for the last 50 years or plus, nothing really changed for black people anyway. So guess who need to be the change for black people? Black people, not people in politics, not people who serve the best interests of corporation. See, that's our fucking problem. We sit here and we want to vote Democrat or we want to vote Republican when really the Republicans doesn't serve our interests. Democrats don't neither one. I've learned this. Okay, so let's stop voting. Because it's not going to matter as long as they got the electoral system, as long as they got legislative filibuster. Okay, because the legislative filibuster is a part of their, process of not getting anything passed in the damn White House. No legislation will be passed unless they remove the filibuster. Originally it was for anti-lynching. Now it's for a 60-40 vote in the damn White House. So that means you most likely won't get anything passed, whether it's Republic or fucking Democrat. So I don't know why we sitting up here want to try to go on here and tell people who to vote for. Okay, let's not vote at all. Okay, now I'm not against people who go out to vote, fine, whatever. But if the 2020 election did not teach your ass a lesson, then I don't know what will. Okay, you got somebody on the Republican side who believes that the election was stolen from him, so he wanted to send his Proud Boys to the January 6th insurrection at the White House. And most of them served time, and Trump not even once did anything to get them people out. So that just should let you know right there. Now one thing I can say about Trump is that he actually did expose what we already knew about the politicians. And that's they're crooked and they're corrupt and they're using a system to benefit them. And Donald Trump actually let them know. That's the only good thing that I actually like about what Trump did. Now, do I care for him when it comes down to COVID and all that other shit? Absolutely not. I don't care about that. You know what I mean? Because it didn't really benefit us. Them little $600 checks he gave us, even the $1,400 and all these stimulus packages they giving us, that's just hush money to shut the American people up while they still continue on with their corruption. Okay, so how about we don't vote? You know what I mean? Y'all can be in your feelings about these politicians all you want. But the fact is, these politicians don't give a fuck about neither one of you motherfuckers. Unless y'all actually are serving them and giving them corporate PAC money. If you got a corporation and you're rich and you're a billionaire, millionaire, you probably are okay with the political system the way it is because it serves your interests. But if you're not, if you're a regular American citizen, especially a black American citizen, why the fuck you even want to come on here and talk about who to vote for and who not to vote for? How about let's not vote at all? Because these motherfuckers don't give a shit about us. Okay? In spite of all of the other stuff that we benefit from, no, it still didn't. We still struggling. The rent is going to go up. The housing market is bad. The taxes is going up. Guess for who? It's going up for us. And they're not doing a damn thing about it because they're serving corporate interests. So why are we sitting up here want to have a conversation about who we need to vote for? Okay? Especially you black talking about shit like this. It does not matter who we vote for, okay? How about we just not vote at all, okay? Because they're going to choose who they want in the White House either way, whether we vote or not. So why are you sitting up here talking about who to vote for and who not to vote for. Let's look at why we shouldn't vote for this and what Obama didn't do and all that. So we know all of that shit. So the more you keep coming on here trying to explain to people how to vote and all that stuff, how about let's not vote? Because it doesn't matter how you vote. It doesn't matter who you vote for. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter. America is always going to be this way until everybody in the White House died. God bless the dead that some of them did, and God forbid that it even happens. I'm not saying I want anybody to die, okay? But what I'm saying is that only way we're going to have to make change in our black community is we need to stick together. We got enough millionaires. We got a few billionaires in our community to where we can actually make some change in our fucking community instead of relying on the fucking politicians to do it. Okay, so shut your mouth and put your money where your mouth is. We always talk about we need to do things for the black community, but y'all yelling and screaming, talking about what the politicians, who we need to vote for in order for some change to go. It's not going to be any changes. Not as long as we keep relying on the fucking politicians. The politicians don't give a fuck. All they care about is that corporate PAC money that they're going to get to serve corporate interests. Okay, that's what it all about. That's what it's all about. Okay, it ain't about no Republican and no Democrat. They don't give a fuck about black America. Okay, they never did and they never will, as long as they got these people in the positions of power. Okay, so let's start doing that. Let's stop voting and let's come together with the ones who will serve the interests of black people, and let's come together and see what we can do to better our own damn community. Okay, y'all must forgot where our ancestors come from. Y'all must forgot all about that. Y'all must forgot what we had to go through, and we still want to go through this process of voting for two parties who never gave a shit about us. Come on, y'all sick in the motherfucking head, man. Stop this shit.
Going to your polling place and just vote.
Friend, we have had this discussion before, and I love you dearly, but I am sorry. This is not the way to go. This is not how to do this, because with messages like that, it is going to lead us right into Project 2025, where it's not going to benefit any of us. Any of us. It's getting on my nerves to where, well, what have the Democrats done? I mean, if you take a look, they have done quite a bit. They've done way more than the Republicans, because, see, the thing of it is, everybody wants to say, what have the Democrats done? What have the Democrats done? Let's look at what the Republicans are doing. They're trying to wipe away our history. They're taking away all of our rights. They're trying to take away all of our rights. See, messages like that is going to lead us right into Project 2025. And friend, again, I love you and I'm coming from a loving place. This is not an attack on you. But I am not going to let anybody, and that is including within my community, steer us in the wrong direction. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to allow that to happen at all. Because that right there is not going to help this situation. And that's why I tell people that Project 2025 is a huge document to read, but you're going to probably have to take breaks in between. But to sum it up in a nutshell, they are trying to make this country a dictatorship, no matter what Republican gets in. This whole question, what have the Democrats done? What have the Democrats done? What are the Republicans doing? Look at what they're doing. Because see, that right there, that's not going to help. That's not going to help. That's not going to help. And I'm sorry. I'm not going to let anybody guide my people down a hole to hell. I'm not. Because I'm not going to get out. You're not going to have, no. You're not going to have me in the cotton fields at all. They already passed Jim Crow 2.0 in Mississippi. They're banning books. They're trying to wipe away our history. They're trying to suppress our votes. And then you got this. We cannot do this. I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to continue to repeat it until it gets embedded into your brain that Project 2025 will happen if we allow a Republican to get in. Doesn't matter what Republican. Because it seems like everybody wants to, oh, don't pick Democrat. What have the Democrats done? Well, you know what? The thing of it is, we're always asking, and depending on what have the Democrats done, what do we do? What do we do for our community? This is my thing for me. Listen. At first, I didn't believe that Project 2025. I said, oh, it's a bunch of baloney. But once I kept seeing it more and did my research, I said, oh, hell no. 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 This is what we're not having. We're not, nope. So my thing of it is I'm concerned about my people and also the other marginalized communities that it's going to affect, because they're trying to be like other countries. So if you're LGBTQIA plus trans non-binary and you don't abide by the rules, they can do to you what they do to LGBTQIA plus and trans community in other countries. Because they're wanting to give the president more power. So there's going to be not going to be a mayor, a senate, a congress, a governor, none of that. Councilman, councilwoman, none of that. No, none of that. None at all. So please stop with this message of go to the polls. What have the Democrats done for blacks? What have the Democrats done for They done way more than what the Republicans have done. That's the question you need to be asked. What have the Republicans done? This is not the way to go. It's not it. It's not it. This is going to lead us right into Project 2025. And I'll be damned if I let that happen. People are not going to, like I said, friend, I love you, but this is not the way to go. This is not it whatsoever. And the only reason why I'm not telling you what the post, and I'm trying not to come off like that, but I'm just letting you know to make you aware that with this, where it's going to lead us to. And we've had the conversation before. I told you about this Project 2025. It is a real thing. You know, a lot of people believe everything they hear or see without doing research. So this is what we cannot do. And I'm not going to have anybody, I don't care if they are in my community, to lead my people down straight to hell. I'm not going to allow that to happen. Period. Lord, I'm just, no, no. We have to look at the future. I have nieces and nephews. I have a godson who is actually about to be 8 months old. I have a mother who is a senior citizen. My only grandmother that's left, who's been like, I'm looking at the future for all of us, friends who are in LGBTQIA plus trans community. I'm looking at that. I don't want that to happen. I'm looking at my community, my people, what's happening and what's going on. We cannot spread this mess. We can't. We cannot. And like I said, if I got to stand on the mountain with a megaphone and scream it every single day, Project 2025, this is what they're trying to do. Do not let this happen. We can't let this happen. We cannot. I love you, friend, but I'm just can't let it happen. Can't let that Project 2025 happen. But this message right here is going to lead us right into it.
According to the United Nations, democracy provides an environment that respects human rights and fundamental freedoms, and in which the freely expressed will of people is exercised. Now, democracy is generally associated with the efforts of the ancient Greeks, whom 18th century intellectuals considered the founders of Western civilization. Now, these individuals attempted to leverage these early democratic experiments into a new template for post-monarchical political organization. In Europe and the English-speaking world, it is often assumed democracy naturally takes the form of liberal democracy, popular sovereignty, but limited by a constitution which guarantees individual freedoms such as speech and rights such as fair trial. In fact, democracy does not necessarily have to be liberal, because certain nations today have illiberal democracies where voting continues, but liberal characteristics such as an independent judiciary and free press have been compromised. Now, going back to the video, people have been voting democratic. Now, my question is, do you think these democratic parties that we have been voting for have done anything for Black people? Kindly leave the answers in the comments. For now, let's go through the comments from different people and just see what people think about this video. Are they agreeing to what she is saying or not? Are you also agreeing or not? The only way we can find out is by going through the comments. So come with me as we have a discussion with people from the comments. Okay, the first comment reads, pure truth, 100%. That's why I like the African American woman. She will tell it to us as it is. This one says, no thank you, I vote Democrat all my life and will continue to do so. Now this one poses a question to a sister and says, so what do you suggest we do? Should we not vote? Interesting comments from people so far. That's what I've been saying. People are die-hard Democrats, but are just getting more poor. Neither party is going to do anything substantial since the civil rights movement. We've been pushed to the back of the line. Good points, but to vote for Trump is more dangerous. Period. Hell, neither party gives a damn about Black folks. This one goes on to say, I often wonder, do people understand how the branches of government work? What, you think Obama was a dictator? Okay, fighting for a multi-party system like other democracies in the world. America is not a democracy. I'm still not voting for the Republican. We live in America. Stop being manipulative. If the alternative is Trump, then we are better off with Biden, who has passed. So many views from people, and some are saying it is better to be just independent and not to vote for none. In as much as there are all these concerns about Democrats, I still feel it is very much better with them than Republicans. This is just me. Like, I don't know what you think, but feel free to be part of the conversation by dropping your thoughts in the comments. Thank you very much for always watching my videos. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please click on the like button and see you in my next video.